So last night I went to the Waffle House and I had got a cup of water with some ice. So now it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. And I came in here after a walk. I just went on a walk. Ooh, I can taste things on my ear. So excuse me. So I ran into this toddler, the toddler that I'm always talking about. I'm gonna talk about that. But anyways, so I want to come in and talk, but I need my water. So I just, somebody, my homegirl, it was her, my bestie, Prime. We got a video together. Anyways, um, she told me that I was like that girl in Signs, the little girl that be leaving cups of water around the house. And that always stuck with me because that is the truth. Like I would leave like cups of water, and I did this since I was young, for real. Like even when I was a kid, on my nightstand, you will find cups of water. And I don't finish the water for the exact same reason that the girl in the movie. I won't finish the water because when I go to drink it again, it tastes funny. And I don't drink funny tasting water. I don't do that. I never, like, I was always particular about water and its taste. That's why I don't like tap water because it got a funny taste. And I don't like Aquafina. Aquafina, look, I can't fuck with y'all because it should be no motherfucking reason that when you open the cap, it sizzle like a motherfucking soda. This is water. This is water, okay? What the fuck is going on? So I don't trust it, okay? Like it have to be in some dire moments. Like, damn, this I'm super thirsty and this is all I got. And then even then I feel like I have to bless it. Like protect me. Please don't let this harm my body in any type of way and stuff like that. Like I set intentions to that motherfucker because I don't trust it for real. I don't trust it. Like I was super thirsty working one night and I had a pickup at this like Italian shop or whatever, and I asked them for water. All they had was bottled water, and they was gonna offer it to me. And I was like, all right, bet. So when I went to the refrigerator though, all they had was Aquafina. I just had to tell her because I came back with no water. And she was like, you could get the water, it's free. I was like, I don't drink Aquafina. And she was like, oh, okay. So yeah. Mm-mm. So, oh yeah, the point is, so I was going to get me some water, like one of these cups of waters that I left around the house. And I went and got this one. It was on my living room nightstand. And I took a sip to taste it to see if it tastes funny or not. And it was still cold. This is some well insulated cups. It's still cold. I couldn't believe it. It's still cold. Wow. I can't believe it. And it tastes good. I like it. And the girl, when I went and got it, I asked her for some water. And she was like, you want something else? You can have it for free. I had that happen to me a lot. Like She was like, you can have anything else if you want something else. And I was like, nah, I want water. And she was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Other drinks, they be a little too sweet. And lately, I feel like I've been having like a sweet tooth for the past couple months. But I don't like when stuff is too sweet. Like there's a too sweet. I don't like that. So I eat candies like Brookstone candy, the chocolate, like Twizzlers, cause they not that sweet. And those like my two favorite ones. Now I found this new Twizzler. It's the guava kind, and they're real good, but they is sweet, but it tastes good enough that I like a craving for it. I also like that Walmart brand it calls Smiles candies. I like those. Now I used to get the Welch's fruit snacks and everything, but I got tired of the taste. Like I was liking it and then I started to really not even like it. I noticed I wasn't finishing like a pack of it and stuff like that. So I migrated to Smiles. But see, that's the thing. Like I will go and get like a box of candy. And if it's like those little snacks or whatever, like over 2 days, like I would eat that whole box of candy. Like other people would be eating it too, but not as much as me. Because I would have like a craving for it. So I would go like if I'm heading out on a walk or something, I would grab one of those. And like for maybe like 2 weeks, I would have like a craving for this candy, and then all of a sudden, like I don't like the taste anymore. I'm tired of it. Other people on got tired of it. Or they never really liked it that much. Like my daughter, she would eat some, but not as much as me. It got to a point she was telling me that she was monitoring me. She was like, Mama, I don't want you to get high sugar. So you need to stop eating so much of these candies. And I'd be looking at her like, girl, I got it. I got it. Because I don't eat a lot. And yeah, I don't eat a lot. But yeah, there'll be times, but I know that eventually I'm gonna stop eating this candy and go like a whole 2, 3 months without even eating it. Eventually I will do that. But right now, for some reasons, I will have a craving for certain foods at that time period. So, but yeah, I usually prefer water. And mm, anyway, so I ran into the toddler. What's interesting is that first his mom texted me. She told me I had a package at the door. So I was like, oh, thank you. Then I went on a walk and I didn't have on my glasses. So I could see him, but I couldn't tell that it was him. But then it was like I could see his energy because um this toddler is something. He got a swag about him. Like he already got a very distinctive personality, you know, and very charismatic. He's an Aries. So I know he like a high level being or something. I'm telling you, if you was just to sit around this kid, for a little while, you wouldn't notice. Okay. I do notice because I remember seeing him interacting with this Pisces toddler, but she was very intriguing too, but it was almost like in a different way. She was kind of manipulative. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Like they was the same age, the same age. They like I think they like two, going on to three, but they two. So it was just so interesting to see them interact because he was kind of mean to her, but his mom is a Capricorn and she was like, I don't know what's going on, but usually it's her who bullying my son. And I'm just like, they just kids, you know. I'm just intrigued by the way they interact, and I don't really have like a judgment about it. I'm just intrigued of how this energy interacting, honestly. So, but I had a juice, and the Pisces girl, toddler, she came up to me. She wanted my juice. So she started doing this thing where she would make herself look like she would pout her lip and look down and like look really, it's not just innocence. It's almost like she acting, you know, because this is how she get what she want. But I'm like, you don't got to do that with me. But you know, she'll talk little, but this is a behavior that she knows, you know. It could be learned or it could be just her energy, you know, just how she is. She could be a natural actor, you know, but I could tell that, you know, the reason she was doing it is because she wanted something from me. She wanted my juice. And you know, I seen kids do this before though. You know, yeah. So I don't think it's like a bad thing or something like that. It's just that she do it, but the Aries kid, he don't never do that. Like he would not give a fuck. He might just straight take it, or he just be like, you know what? I don't want it no way. It is what it is. He would be like that. So a lot of times when I'm interacting with this toddler, this Aries toddler, I'm almost talking to him like he grown, but he be understanding though. He be understanding. All right, it was one incident. I feel like his mama, she was starting to get mad at me and stuff. So I left afterwards. But for some reason this day, he was being hella rude to me. And I was like, yo, you gotta respect me if you want me to respect you. And his mama, you know, I feel her energy. She feeling some type of way because I'm talking to her kid like this. And you know, she was saying something like, you know, he just a toddler, like he don't understand. So, you know, I just looked at her and I was like, all right, girl, I'm about to head out. I'm about to head out. And she was like, all right, because she already mad. I know she mad. Um, but he been respectful towards me since that day on some real shit. So, and there's other times I'm talking to him Cause sometimes he be talking fast, but it sounds like he babbling. But every so often he would say like a solid word. So I be listening to him, but when he talking like blah 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 blah, but blah blah, queen of blah 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 blah. Like it's almost like he talking, but he know he's saying something. Even though he babbling, he know he's saying something. But every so often he would say a solid word. So I be catching on those solid words and be like, yo, that shit actually made motherfucking sense. I be like, yo, that shit actually makes sense. Mm, 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 mm. So, but other people around him, they ain't interacting with him like I'm interacting with him because I be talking like he knows, because he motherfucking knows, okay? So I be talking like him. I be talking like that to him. And he be understanding. But other people might not be understanding while I'm communicating with this toddler like this. Fuck it or whatever. Cause I ain't for that waste my time. I feel like if I'm being fake, like just treating him like he just a toddler, that's a waste of fucking time. That is a waste of time. He understands. I know what's going on. And I be pointing out those instances because there'll be instances that shit will play out, but people might not be paying attention like that. But I be pointing that shit out. I be like, you remember when he said this? Well, this shit just happened, and this goes to this, yada yada yada. I be talking about that shit. Now his Capricorn mother, she seemed very intrigued by what I'm saying, but I don't think that is fully sinking in because I think that's healthy. I feel like that blockage is there for a reason because she have to be a mother to him, and it might be hard for her to really be that if she was seeing what I was seeing. So I feel like there's a very purposeful blockage there. So yeah, so that's how I be looking at it and stuff like that. Like sometimes I just be giggling because I don't know if she would ever be able to see it to that extent because that's her son. I think that's, yeah, because I feel like that about my daughter at times. Like I notice people will see stuff that I couldn't really see because like I gotta be a mother to her. Um, I have to cater to other needs in her, like her emotional needs and stuff like that. So I feel like that's why it's like that, you know. Yeah. Cause I feel like my awareness of him, um, like I feel like I'm still motherly around him, but I will feel like it's too much energy for me. It would be like I feel like it wouldn't be the same experience with me. So, but that's because of my awareness of his energy. But there's times that I do see my child like in a different way. Like there was one time she was just up there talking, and I was like, "Oh my God, you such a beautiful spirit." Mm-mm-mm. I'm about to cry just thinking about. I was about to cry then. Mm-mm-mm. My daughter is a beautiful ass motherfucking spirit. Okay, it's a blessing. I be telling people that, like, look, I'm blessed. Mhm. But there's other times when I look into our energy, like I felt like I asked her to come down here with me. I think it's because she could do life a little better, you know? Like my daughter, she a Gemini sun and a Scorpio moon, but she a 29-degree Scorpio moon. So she like migrated into Sagittarius moon when she was younger. And I feel like that's because when I read about Sagittarius moons, how they relate to their mother, it's like they learn a lot from their mom. And, my daughter was so observant that even stuff that I wasn't necessarily trying to teach her, she was learning it. Cause, she was listening to my conversations and I have deep conversations with people. I always did. So she would listen to my conversations and not just that, my parents, they intellectuals, like not just intellectual, they spiritual as well. Like my mom a Scorpio moon and she's a Leo sun, but she don't have like a standard outlook. Like both of my parents, they going into religion now, but they still going into religion in an open-minded way because that's how they is. Like there's a sense in them that you can't make them feel shame or guilt for shit that they did in the past, or they just looking for something that they could believe in, basically. And that's all they seeing it for. But when you have conversations with them, they don't have like a typical religious mindset. They don't do that. Like my dad is into conspiracies and my mom is too. And my mom, she always been into spiritual stuff. She taught me spiritual shit when I was younger, but she didn't know she was doing it. Like, I would see her shake money at the moon and she would say, more money, more money. And we was outside a lot because my mom, she was a smoker. And my dad, like around like his 40s, he stopped smoking. And he like, I don't even want it in the house anymore. So you got to go outside and smoke. So she would go outside and a lot of times I would go outside with her and she'd be like, look, there go the little dipper. Look, she would point out the stars and constellations and stuff like that. And my mom was also into astrology, but she was like really just into the sun sign. She's still to this day, like she liked to read those astrology parts and like newspapers and stuff like that. And she was even into yoga. And my mom is a pretty open book, just like me. Like I remember when her and my dad split up, um, she left behind her diary. She went to Oklahoma after they split up, and I was just living with my dad. And I asked her, can I read it? She was like, yeah, go ahead. She really didn't feel no way about it. Me reading the diary. She really didn't. And that's what people would say to me. They would say to me, like, you know, I love your mama because she real. She real. That's what they would say. And that is the truth. My mama is real. Is real. Yo, I wrote a poem about my mama one time. I came across it recently and I was just talking about how society don't really have her mind because there's a lot of things that my mama not into. Like when she watched TV, she only watched Law and Order, really. Um, she not really good with technology, so and she heard like a lot of horror stories, so she kind of feared technology, you know. My dad, the Aries, hell motherfucking nah. He might type a little slow, but he deep in that technology, but he really cautious with it. Like he be the type that be looking for that security check mark when going on websites and stuff. Child, I don't like I'm the type to like maybe install like a some type of program to protect me and stuff and such and such and such or yeah, like that. So anyways, but you know, my dad, he has strong points of views and he's pretty open-minded. I actually seen my parents recently. They invited me over because they said that they wanted to cook and they wanted to talk. And you know, when I visit them, it felt like familiarity. Like, you know, there was a time period that me and my parents was not seeing eye to eye, but it kicked off in 2020. But before that, I was pretty close to my parents. Like, and I didn't have like a negative point of view, but after the situation with my cousin and after um my brother died and stuff, things went downhill. It went downhill. But I do realize that when my brother died, there was a grieving that was taking place. And it was a real rough time. My mom, when my brother passed away, I really thought my mom was going to lose her mind. It was really bad. So I'm trying to clear out that lump in your throat. That's the thing I hate most about crying. About crying. Like before you cry, it moves up into your throat and it stop you from speaking. It's interesting. So I got real deep in like energy healing because I wanted to heal my mama and I knew it was energetic. So I did energy healing on my mom and it worked wonderfully. It really did. And my mom, she would be like, she my guinea pig. And you know what? She always was, honestly. Cause I was always getting into shit. So like when I learned how to braid, I started with braiding on my mom hair. I remember the first time I did cornrows, like with extensions, and you could tell it was a cornrow, but it was so raggedy, child. And my mom wore it for like 2 days. It was like it was even a design in the front. Like there was a braid pattern in the front and like braided up into a ponytail and there was some hair down. But yeah. So during that time, like we was all healing in our own way. I think my dad was grieving in a way that he kind of like shut down. Um, Seemingly it didn't look like with my dad, it didn't look like he was really struggling or whatever. But I know that he was. My brother, he escaped into drugs. Um, but when you do energy healing, the person has to be open to you doing it. My brother, he was always open to like me giving him crystals and stuff. He was open to Nah, my brother was open to a lot of things because before I got into energy healing, I was like into like herbs and shit like that. I was making tintras. I still have like it has to be probably like 7 years old now, Tantra. Like somewhere in a closet somewhere, child. Think it got like mug war in it or some shit. Stuff to like I was trying to relax anxiety when I first got into it. That's why. But see with my brother, he have an issue with sinuses. And my dad, he do too. Like my dad, when I was younger, he would get sinus infections. But now he don't really get them. Um my brother, like he always congested. So um with my daughter, I used to do like that what they call it? Netapot, where you put the water, the saline solution through your nostrils and it pours out and everything. So he would get sinus infections. So I was into garlic because it's a natural antibiotic. So I would make him like a solution like out of the garlic and stuff. And he said that it would really work. Also, he said that what be clearing him up is when I burn sage around him. He said that clears him up. He also can feel crystals. Like I was dangling like a crystal over his head. And he was like, man, I don't know what that is, but I could feel it, man. I could feel it. Damn, I have a really pretty interesting history when I think back on it. Like, I don't be thinking about it like this, but like back in the day, I was cleansing people's house. People would ask me to come over and cleanse their house, and I would make water solutions for them where they could take in a shower and rinse with it, and it would cleanse them. Ooh, damn, I'll be doing shit like that. That's crazy. That's so insane. So, and that's I was doing shit for free then. Like I wasn't even. I felt like I couldn't be charging people unless I was good at what I do. That's why when I see people out here and they like broken as fuck and they be out here trying to charge people and heal people, that's really selfish to me. Like that means that they don't have no integrity for one and they don't feel responsible. Like that makes me feel like they don't really believe in what they do. Because if you did, you would be aware that your own energy need healing, especially as you going to heal other people. You will have that awareness if you really believe in energy healing, like you said you do. People just be fake as fuck though, honestly. People be fake as fuck. They really do. They be so motherfucking fake. It's crazy. I was reading over a past like journal entry and I said that I feel like I read it. Hmm. I will read it. Look, I can't write to it. I wrote it October 10th. Today's the 21st. I said, I think I confuse other people's feelings for my own. I realize I get pulled to people who see me first. Like if someone in my neighborhood has been watching me and has lots of thoughts about me, I will start to notice them. I show up in their reality more. I might slowly start changing my pattern of going outside and see that person more. Gonna start doing something about that. Sometimes people pull on my energy and do not speak to me. That's fine. It's the motherfuckers who summon me and I show up and they act like they are scared. Now that shit pissed me off. Call me Blood and Mary now. Okay, so what I was saying, yeah, I was realizing that um sometimes when I'm pulled or drawn to people, um, I realized like this person had noticed me before. I feel like men do this a lot, honestly. Like I don't know why they do this. It's like they pull on your energy. Hmm. And some motherfuckers, they be knowing that they doing it. They know that. So, when I said that I'm finna start doing something about that, I feel like I really need to start shielding my energy and stuff. Like really protecting myself from outside influences. There was a time that I was open, but the reason I was open is because um I wanted people to understand me. So I thought that I had to just be open. So if you tap into my energy to read me, I was okay with it because I wanted you to see me for what and who I really am. But, people will take advantage of that. And so, yeah, I had to learn. I have to practice protecting myself. I was thinking about what that one dude said in the video that I shared. He was saying that when he go out in public, he projects a spear around him. Um, I heard that before. I think that I do that kind of naturally. I be feeling like I'm in that spirit probably a lot of times just for the fact that I'm in my own space, I'm in my own world. But I really don't mind having interactions with people. But I do feel like um all my life, the people that I've actually turned into friends with, they was consistent. Like I feel like that's why I developed relationships with a lot of water signs because water signs are consistent. Like I don't know what it is, but they be understanding you as in they just got to put in some effort to get to know you. It's not that you don't fuck with them. It's not that you don't like them. That's just how you is. So like there's been a lot of times that cancers, particularly like a cancer, every cancer I know, they would continually check up on you as long as they got your number. And they will understand that, even though you disappeared, because I could disappear for like, damn, a whole year or something. Not all the time. It depends on how close we are. Um, but a cancer will out the blue just text you, be like, hey, I was just thinking about you and wondering if you are right. A Cancer will do that, or a Cancer will tell you that they've been thinking about you. Like, I just got a message from my ex brother-in-law, and he was saying, but he's so militant. Oh my God. Like, Cancer man, they could really be toxic as fuck. Lord have mercy. But he would say some shit like, hey, hey, I just want you to know that I have not forgot you. And he really religious too. So he would say something. I got to read it because it's kind of hard for me to remember. Hey, I just want you to know I haven't forgotten about you. Lord Jesus lives you. What that means? Lord Jesus lives you. Lord Jesus lives you. Maybe he mean lead or something. Lord Jesus lives you. Lives you. Sometimes I want to unblock him, but I feel like too indoctrinated child. He be really trying to convince me into being a certain type of way, believing in certain things, denouncing certain things, yada yada yada. And sometimes he could get real ugly. Like he could be real ugly. Okay. You get ugly with me, I'ma sit your ass down. Okay. With the truth. It be when he get ugly, I'll be like, oh, okay, you want to debate? You want to debate? All right, fine, 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 fine. Then he end up going quiet. Boy, I be really telling him about himself. He got to go quiet. Or he come back and apologize, or but he be still mad, you know. Mm-mm-mm. He be making me feel like I'm mean sometimes, but I really don't be trying to be. I be so trying to be patient, but he get increasingly ugly, like calling me selfish because I don't want to do certain things and stuff like that. Okay, motherfucker, listen, motherfucking listen. I got something to say now. Now I got something to say. Okay. hmm And boy, when shit come out, like when you coming from a deep space, you got to be in those moments to say shit. Not when, because if I speak prematurely before I'm ready to speak, it just ain't gonna come out right. So I be waiting for I get the vibration, get into the spirit of speaking and expressing myself. The reason he blocked though is because um that religion, honestly. Like we could have a conversation and I say some real deep shit and he be like, sometimes he be like, let me go think about it. Other times he will apologize. Sometimes he be like, oh, I see what you saying and stuff. And then sometimes he would debate, but it would make no fucking sense though. Like, because he will latch on to one thing and then he will start trying to prove to me like, but he be putting me in the wrong category because that's not even my mentality. He keep trying to find a label to put me in. First it was, oh, so you a feminist. Nah, you just trying to find a box to put me in. Cause he feel like everybody is in a box somewhere. But no. Then he tried to argue to me, but boy, it got bad with that one. I don't think he fully he albino as well. So it's like, but you still like, do you feel other because you albino? Because I'm thinking like you still consider yourself black, but he said something on the lines of black people in America need to stop complaining and they selfish and they not in slavery anymore and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, bitch, we all in slavery, motherfucker. Like, see, this what I'm talking about. You be thinking I be thinking about that shit. But you a slave. And then when I have to break that shit down, now you feel embarrassed. But you, man, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Now I'm getting pissed off. And you saying some dumb shit because, you know, he keep believing that you have to follow some type of construct. You have to be in some type of box. It's like he just can't perceive that you're free. He just can't perceive it, you know? Like, I'm saying like we all under the same umbrella, but y'all people make you have to break it down and shit like that because yes, there's a programming and people that make them feel a way about skin color, that make them feel judgmental towards like classism. Like it's so many of them. Racism, classism, socialism, I don't know, shit, whatever. So feel like my camera delayed. So anywho, so your whole argument don't even fucking matter, honestly. Like, but just if you know, and if I was to argue about that point, you know, that would feel like it's bringing me down because you know I have to be where you at in perspective. So I have to come down here and just dissect this shit in order for you to be able to see what I'm really talking about. And that get frustrating because it's almost like because of his own fear, like he might get a glimpse of where I'm taking him, but he be like, oh no, 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 this ain't good. This ain't, I gotta go back in my box. I gotta go back in my box. And then you go back in that box and then you come back with like the same, it's almost like they in a time loop or something. They come back with the same argument. And then I'm the one who have to keep changing my arguments because now I'm switching from different perspectives, trying to get you to understand. Okay. So I'm here, like, but you make me have to complicate something that is simple. And that be frustrating me, man. That be really getting to me. So it's like, man, I'm tired of going through this. It feels like you're in a cycle. And you be like, man, I'm tired of going through this cycle or whatever. Because the reason you even in that cycle is because you can't release. So, but you pulling me into it. You know, at this point, just go on around other people that like being in that particular cycle and talk to them. But don't be trying to pull me. That's when I'm gonna start feeling like you selfish. Don't be trying to pull me into that trap, into that cycle. Yo, because I feel like, do you really care about me? If you cared about me, why you want to make me into a slave? Huh? And then I be feeling that on a real deep level. And then that made me just detach. Cause I be feeling like you ain't ready. And I ain't wasting my time. But you know, when I was reading um the that book that I was reviewing, The Gospel of Jesus Christ, written by Levi. I think I was that Levi dude incarnated. But anyways, um, so in that book, it was one part that really grasped me. It was the part where Jesus he go to so let me break down what this book is. It's not breaking down the Bible. This man said that he went into the Akashic records and reported back Jesus' story. Okay. And you know, there's somebody that's on YouTube. I no longer have respect for them or whatever. But yeah, I did notice that after I was going through that process, he started to talk real different about like Jesus and stuff like that. Just know that I caught it. Anywho. Um motherfuckers be on something for real, for real. And I ain't talking about like no drug or nothing. They just be on something. They be infested. See, I like the spiritual community and stuff, like, but most of the time, people that is real in it, they extra reclusive and hermit, hard to find, are very expensive. Shit. Um, and then you have those one people, like they got caught up in like their ego and shit, and it's just real ugly. A lot of times they will have like major trust issues. That's why it's hard for me to communicate with the YouTubers because if they have like some numbers over 20,000, they be acting like they be really feeling those numbers. Like they feel it to their core. I feel it in a different way, like because I be knowing. Give me a minute, y'all. Yeah, I couldn't even finish my joint because I have a thought. I be feeling it. I still got smoke in my lungs. Hold on. Okay. I be feeling it in a different way because I will have like the lowest numbers in the community. But yet people will be coming to me. People will be caring what the fuck I'm saying. People will be really inspired by me. That's what I'm saying. And these will be people with way more numbers than me. You get what I'm saying? So it'd be like, how the fuck y'all even find me, yo, with my numbers being so low? With looking at my numbers, you would really think that I'm irrelevant. But people be really fucking with me though. But people be fucking with me, but it's like they come to me in a way like they don't want me to know that. They don't want me to really see it because of my numbers. Like they could be coming to me like, oh, we found a precious jewel and stuff like that. They don't want to promote me. They don't want other people to see me, but they will be fucking with me. And if I do talk to them, a lot of times they don't want to talk to me. But if I do talk to them, they show me how it is. They be condescending sometimes, but they be also coming to me in a way like, you know, something you said either really touched me or I watch your videos or something like that, yada, yada, yada. But it's like they always trying to position themselves in a way that they want me to want something from them. And I be like, nah, I just want to get to know you, bitch. For real. I have to continue to say that shit. I caught myself saying that way too many times to people. Like, yo, I just want to know you. I don't want shit from you and stuff. Sometimes they will offer me shit. And I'll be like, all right, cool, but that ain't, I just wanted to get to know you as a person, you know? And then even sometimes when they offer me shit, I'll be like, I still need to get to know you. And it's like they don't be registering that. And they don't, it's like they don't even talk like that. Is y'all like that with everybody? Because I feel like they different with people with higher numbers. I really do. I feel like with people with higher numbers, they might actually want to have a conversation and get to know them. But with me, they just really like knowing me from a distance. They don't want to get too close. They don't want me to see them. That'd be the truth. They don't want to be seen. Like sometimes they really are scared, you know? They scared that I'm a reader. And yo, you know, I can't even take that shit from you because motherfucker, you be telling me when I'm interacting with you, like I don't be trying to read people, you know, I don't be trying, but sometimes I just get deep and you know, but you know, the fire signs though, with them, it be really feeling like a boxing match. Like it could really, they could get offended real easily. It's different with all of them, like with the Aries and stuff. The fire signs got not just trust issues, but they got control issues. The Aries will be the most fearful of like being seen. So they will even do stuff to like throw you off track. Um, Yada yada yada. They will do shit like that. It be real childish. To me, it be looking childish as fuck. But that's because they be in their shadows. They be in their shadow. That's like the shadow side of Aries. The positive side of Aries is real open minded. You know, that's why I feel like if Aries do watch me, they will keep it at a distance. They wouldn't want to be seen and stuff like that. Even if they feel like they really don't have nothing to hide, Aries would like to hide shit like how they really feel about something. Stupid, but be that as it may, that's them. Sagittarius, they don't like to be seen, but they would just disappear. They would disappear on your motherfucking ass, especially if you spook them or what you seen? Uh, Leos, they like to be seen for specific things. It would be a lot of good things about the Leo, because they impress people without trying too hard and stuff because they have a glow about them. But they don't like to be seen for like their shadow side. They don't like you to see that. Now, when you see that, a Leo could get real nasty. I mean, because you touching something sensitive, they might think that you competing with them and then they would hurt your feelings. Like don't get too big of yourself or whatever that saying is. Don't get too big headed. Don't get cause they might be feeling like you stepping in a territory that you shouldn't be in. So they could get real nasty. I feel like the zodiac signs I could get along with the most are air signs and water signs. Earth signs, I don't know. It'd be difficult with all of them. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. It'd be difficult. Like Capricorns, we can have some really good time. But it's like they don't let shit be good. And it's like they so damn prideful, child. They so damn competitive and prideful. I just can't. But hopefully I will come across a Capricorn that don't feel the need to dominate me. Tauruses, I don't know. I kind of fuck with Tauruses a little bit, but only really when it's like a high and by situation. Like if they like my neighbor and I see them every once in a while, but we don't really hang out like that. Like when the relationship is shallow for the most part, but when you do have moments you interact, they could be deep for those moments. And that's usually how I can make it work with a Taurus. But being like really close to a Taurus, it seemed to always, yeah, they don't like to be seen either. Mm-mm. Virgos, they just don't fucking understand me. Like, I feel like every time I interact with Virgos, they end up like hating me because they made a conclusion in their head about me. Something that they see me do or say or whatever might have rubbed them the wrong way. And then they go on a tangent with that. It will manifest into them completely villainizing you. Like it's almost like if you don't keep up appearances around a Scorpio, I mean a Virgo, they will judge you really harshly. They will really fucking like, and me, um, I'm not a consistent person. Like I'm not consistent. Like I flow with my energy. Sometimes I'm really calm, I'm really chill. Other times I could be like upset. Other times I could be very withdrawn, you know. So yeah, I express those different sides. But with Virgos, if they see like too many of your different sides, they're gonna think like, I don't understand you. I don't get you. Because even if you have those different sides, you're supposed to be in private with it. So the fact that you out in the open with it, like it's something wrong with you. You're like, it's something. Because when it came to my cousin, yeah, I think that she was jealous, but I also felt like a lot of things that she was saying, like I feel like she might have secretly had these thoughts about me. Cause I remember one time asking her, what does she think about when she hear the word vulnerability? And she had nothing but negative things to say about it. And I was like, nah, like I don't see it like that and stuff like that. Cause I have a deep connection with vulnerability. Like I don't think I could help but be vulnerable. Ooh, I can't, honestly. It will put me in really my vulnerability, um, put me in weird situations. Oh yeah, but I appreciate it, you know. I have like a bleeding heart. And what started my spiritual journey is me trying to heal that, trying to suppress that because when I was younger, I believed that everybody felt things as strongly as I did, but they was able to contain it better. So I was like, it just must be me or some or no, not because I thought that other people felt these emotions. I did. But I felt other people process things like I process things. I felt like other people noticed what I noticed. They just dealt with it better. So I was like, I have to get like that. I have to be able to um not feel things so deeply. So I was looking for ways to heal that because I was dealing with depression and anxiety and stuff. But, I couldn't slow down because I felt like getting out of it. I had to make more income. I had to be kind of numb. I remember when I turned like 24, 25, and I started smoking weed because I was having thoughts like, man, I'm just gonna let these people medicate me because I need something to get through. I need to get through it. At first, I did all the natural shit, you know. That's why I was into herbs and shit like that. But that wasn't making me feel numb. And that's what I felt like I needed. I was like, I needed to feel numb, like just not feeling no more. And I remember having an experience. I was having some type of pain. It was so painful. I think it was a kidney stone, but they couldn't find it in the x-ray. And I went to the hospital and I was in so much pain. They did the x-ray. They told me they couldn't find anything. So they gave me these hydrocodone, I think, pain medication. So I remember taking it when I got home and was so surprised by how good it felt for like an hour or so. I felt so good. I ain't worried about shit. I remember just laying there and feeling the fan blowing on my skin. It was like amazing. But I also remember having thoughts like, I ain't never taking this shit again. Like I ain't never taking this shit again. Like I become an addict. And then I'm gonna be fucked up. I can't afford a pill addiction. I'm like, I can't take this shit again. That's what I was thinking. Cause I got a lot of Saturn, so I could be real responsible. So after that, I would take ibuprofen. I took a few of them, and then it's like they started to disappear. They only gave me a few. That's one thing. They only probably gave me like 5 pills, if that. So I took one, and they also gave me ibuprofen, like those big ones, as like 400, 500 milligrams. I started taking those instead. But I had this Sagittarius girl living with me. I think she might have took some. I ain't gonna even tell that one. I need more water. Actually, I'm just gonna end the video. Did I talk about everything? Okay, so the reason I felt like running into that Aries kid, he kind of like inspired that. This this motherfucker is powerful, okay? I'm telling you, this little ass toddler, since I met him, I was like, yo, you something. I looked into his eyes and was like, wow, you something. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but his energy is extremely expansive. And then the mom would be like, when she was pregnant with him, that's when she was her happiest. And I felt like that too. Maybe that's something that does happen. Cause when I was pregnant with my daughter, my baby daddy wasn't being ain't shit. But around like the second, third trimester, I didn't even care. I was just so in love with my baby. But I was really having thoughts like I won't be alone anymore. That's how I was feeling. I won't be alone anymore. I always have this person with me. Now that's kind of from a toxic place, but that's the truth. So I was just so in love with my baby that I wasn't even thinking about that motherfucker. Like he actually around my third trimester hit me up. He felt bad. He felt bad for not being there. Cause first he wanted me to get an abortion. I thought about it. I did. My parents was also saying that's what I should do. And I thought about it, but then I was like, nah, I was like, I can't. I just had a clear no because I was really contemplating it. And then I just had a clear no. And then my grandmother and a cousin of mine contacted me and they told me not to do it. One of my cousins she had an abortion and she said that she regretted it. She said, don't do it. And then my grandmother, she kind of religious. So she was like, you supposed to spread your seeds all over the world. Don't get no abortion. Cause some reason everybody knew that I was thinking about this motherfucking abortion. Like I don't know why. I think it's because my daddy. I think he was talking about it because he was stressed the fuck out. Mm-mm-mm. But no, I had my baby, and that's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life because she kept me so grounded in this reality. Like, I don't think I would have made it if I didn't have her, you know. Even when I attempted suicide, I I instantly regretted it because I was like, who gonna nobody gonna raise my baby better than me. Nobody gonna teach her like I'm a teacher. Nobody is going to like I'm the best person for her. So hmm, I'm gonna tell the story. So when I attempted suicide, I was like 20, 19. Mm, I had to be probably like 18, 19 because I remember my daughter being really young. And I might have been experiencing postpartum depression or something because I remember questioning, like, did my daughter love me? And my mama was kept, because I stayed with my mom and dad. Um, she kept saying that my daughter is hers. And then she was like, she would say stuff like, it's like I birthed her myself. There was times that me and my mom relationship was really toxic. Like it was just really toxic. And that's the truth. Sometimes I want to forget those times, but I can't because it's what happened and it's important to acknowledge that. But I don't want to continue to be angry about it. And I'm not angry about this. So I started feeling like my daughter preferred my mom. So there was a day that me and my mom got into a really bad fight. And I swallowed a whole bunch of pills. And the police came, the ambulance and everything. So they took me to the hospital. And I remember my mama saying, because I couldn't open my eyes, and she was like, she just want attention. She just want attention. So I internalized that. And I thought, like, maybe that was it. So when they took me to the hospital, like the nurses and shit, they were so mean to me. I just remember during this whole experience, like every nurse I came across, they were very disrespectful to me. They was very mean to me. They took me to a hospital that it was a psych ward on the top floor. Hold on, let me get some water because I'm gonna need some water for this. So yeah, so I was in a hospital bed and I remember feeling like so lonely. And I wanted somebody to be there. In the time, it was he was then my ex-boyfriend, Pisces. He came up there, but he treated me like I just wanted attention or something. Like he treated me like what you want or something like that. And I was like, then why the fuck you even came up here? He like, I'm just checking on you. So eventually a nurse came in with a wheelchair, told me to get in it because they was transporting me to another room. And I was like, okay. So I got in the wheelchair and it was like a long road to wherever they was taking me. So I was like, where you taking me? And he said the psych ward. And I was like, what if I don't want to go? And he said, you try to kill yourself, didn't you? So I was like, so you saying that I don't have no choice? He said, basically. So I just remember these double doors. They took me through it, two double doors. And then they rolled me up to the desk, the reception desk in the psych ward. So once you enter, you are locked in. You cannot leave. You can't leave unless a psychiatrist say that you can. It's like once I realized that, I instantly started thinking of how the fuck I'm gonna get out of there. Yo, I got so quiet and I was just like, bruh. I started asking questions actually. So when I got to the receptionist, I said, how can I get out of here? She like, you gotta talk to the psychiatrist. I said, when the next psychiatrist is coming? She said, like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. It was early morning. And I was like, I want to talk to them. And she said, um, I don't know what she said. I think she told me in a manner like I kind of have to catch him if I wanted to talk to him. So I wasn't going to go to sleep because I was waiting for the psychiatrist to come in. I remember around the time that they said that he was coming, I would get out and ask them like, yo, the psychiatrist here? And then they would say no, and I'd go back. Also, so let me tell you, they put me in a room. The room was dark because it was nighttime. And they told me that you can't close the door. They also take away all your stuff, your clothes and everything. So the room that they put me in was with a woman, and she was just sitting up in her bed, like in the dark. And she was schizophrenic. She said that she was saying that something was running up the walls. And I was like, something like what? And she was like, she became real vague then, like she didn't really want to talk about it too deeper. And then she started saying that she's schizophrenic and she be seeing things. And I was like, okay. But I don't think she could sleep either because she was like laying down in bed, but I felt like she was still up. So the next day, oh, okay, no. Actually, I did call the first psychiatrist and I went and talked to them because I was like, yo, can I talk to you? It was a woman the first time. And so I was telling this woman that I regret my decision and I will never do it again. And I learned my lesson and I would really like to get home to my child. This woman seen, you see that mark? It was another one though. Okay, I think it's like my marks are fading, so I can't even really find it. But she seen a mark on my arm and she asked me, was I a cutter? And I said, no. And she said, hmm. And then she started asking me about another mark or something like that. This one I had that since I was 4 years old. And what I got it from is because I was outside playing and I was running and I fell and I skint my arm on the sidewalk. So I had it since I was 4 years old. And she up here is writing shit and telling me that she's not gonna release me because she think I need more evaluation and that she find marks on my body. And I'm like, what? I just got real quiet and I was like, do you know when the next psychiatrist gonna be in? And she told me. And then I went back to my room and I waited for the next psychiatrist. But it was some time in between. So I remember the schizophrenic lady, she was telling me to be careful about these nurses. At one point, they was suggesting medication to me. I told them I don't want to take no medication. Thankfully, they did not force that on me. They did not force that. And I think that they couldn't really force it, maybe legally, because I swallowed pills. So my system was still clearing out. They didn't want to add something on top of that. And I was the overdose or something. So, anyways, I remember having to take a shower. Now they don't give you no deodorant or nothing. They don't give you none of that. Okay. They give you a short towel, short enough so it won't be long enough for you to hang yourself. So in the bathroom, the showers are built into the wall. They flat on the wall. And I'm guessing they don't want people to hang themselves or something like that. So I couldn't adjust it. Like I couldn't move it and everything like that. So when I turned it on, it was spraying right in my motherfucking face. I was fucking drowning in this damn shower. So it was so bad. The water was hot, and I'm trying to get to the thing to like turn it off or turn it down or something to adjust it. And I'm struggling. So I finally get out the shower, and the shower is creating like a pool of water on the floor. I mean, the whole bathroom is like now flooded. Oh Lord. So I was like, you know what? I really want to take a shower. So I turned it off and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump in, shower real quick, jump out, and try to soak up as much water as I can. Maybe get a mop from somebody or some shit like that. So I took a real quick shower, jumped out, and I was putting the towels that I have on the floor to absorb some of the water. And a nurse just came in. I'm still like not even dressed yet. And she was like, look at this mess. And I was like trying to explain to her about the shower. I was like, yeah, I couldn't adjust the shower. And she was like, are you stupid? I ain't your motherfucking maid. I ain't gonna clean up after you. So you better clean it up. And I was like thinking, because, my first reaction was like shock because, she was bringing me to the awareness that just because I'm in this psych ward, she looking at me like she could just talk to me fucking crazy. She looking at me like I'm less than, especially when she said, what you fucking stupid. So it's like, she came from a standpoint like you the crazy one. So I'm like, okay. I was thinking and I was like, I'm just gonna remember your face because I was really thinking like if I ever see her outside of here, I'm gonna question her. But you know what? Her face is a blur to me to this motherfucking day. I can't remember her face. But I decided to be quiet because I was like, yo, if I get mad, they gonna really lock me up in here. Then I ain't gonna be able to get out. And getting out was more important. So I just didn't say nothing. I seen the next psychiatrist. I had a different story. I told him that I just wanted attention and I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna do it again. He was like, okay. And the reason I told him that is because, you know, a part of me was internalizing it and um another part of me knew Like I just wasn't happy. And I felt like I shouldn't have been treated the way that I was treated. Cause it was a time that I was treated certain ways just because of where they see my position. Like I'm a teenage mom and stuff like that. I try to kill myself. So people will find reasons to look down on you and they will talk to you like that. So, you know, it was hard to really figure out what the fuck is going on with you because you're so busy just trying to maintain. So I told them what I thought that they wanted to hear because I wanted to get out. I don't like to be trapped in no type of facility. I don't like that shit. Mm-mm. But later on, I had a friend, Sagittarius person. Um, she had a completely different experience. She also tried to kill herself, swallow pills, and went to the same facility. But and I would call her because I was about to tell her like how the fuck you get out. So I was eventually able to get her on the phone. And she was like, "No, I don't want to get out." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Nah, I like it here. Like, I'd rather be here than at my mama house." I understood, man. Like when we was younger, I knew it was something going on with her like family life, but I don't know all the details. But I know that she was always wanting to get away from that house. And I was like, all right, we'll just stay in touch and everything. And she stayed there for like a whole week. I think they had to put her out. Or she was just, and I think she took pills. She was open to that. Like I wasn't open to weed until I was like 25, but now she was smoking weed earlier. She was into getting high. But she haven't had the experience of having a having a drug addict parent. She didn't see it. I seen it. I feel like if she did, she wouldn't have been open to drugs like that. But she had like a different experience. She was different. She still had a hard time, but she didn't deal with a parent on drugs. So I was even that person when I was younger. I was telling people like they shouldn't smoke weed. I was that person. I was telling people like say no to drugs. I wasn't that person. I was up there believing that weed was a gateway drug. I was that person. I was anti-drug like a motherfucker. But it's because I seen it. I seen it. Like even now, I'm anti-drug. Like before I smoke weed, I did research. But okay, so and I didn't even smoke weed in the beginning. I used to only use edibles and it was like only on a weekend. And I was really monitoring it or whatever, kind of bougie about it too. because at first I didn't want to smoke because I ain't like the whole ideal of smoking. But I went from like edibles, and then when you eat an edible, like you high for like fucking hours. That's what I stopped liking about it. That's when I was like, I think I want to start vaping because I can't be high for hours. I want to be able to monitor my high, you know? And I was starting to ingest more marijuana and stuff because when I first marijuana really fucking saved me. It really did. I ain't gonna front. It really fucking did because when I ate that edible, it was able to take me to a place where I wasn't so emotional about it that I couldn't think clearly. I was able to see different angles, different perspectives. I was also able to get myself out of my own emotions, but I was also able to have compassion for myself. So the weed will put me in that state. But now I could kind of be in that state when I choose to be. Um, but I struggle sometimes, especially when people do dumb shit. When people do dumb shit, that really be. Mm-mm. But anywho, I remember with my cousin when everything was happening. At some point, I started to call people to try to heal what was going on, but I didn't want to gossip. There's times that I really don't want to gossip. Like I would cut it short. Like, but there's other times I'm okay with it, but it have to be a productive type of gossip. Like there's a reason why we talking about this. If we talk about this, we will go into a broader understanding of this. But I ain't just gonna be sitting there talking shit. Like that ain't me. That ain't my thing. I hate that. It really, but I'm okay with hearing some shit, but it have to be like a reason we talking about it and everything. There's a difference. Like I'm so disconnected from that other gossip that I can't even really explain it. Um, but I was calling like my auntie told me to call my cousin after I talked to her on the phone and stuff. And I was telling her, like, look, I don't want nobody to be mad at nobody. Like, I just want us, I think it's a misunderstanding and I just want us to chill. And she was like, okay, great. Call your cousin, call her so we could set something up so we could meet up and everything because we family and yada, yada, yada. Call my cousin. And um, she started saying what she been hearing. And I was just clearing it up. And then she started warning me about the cousin, the Virgo that stabbed me in the back. She was like, she ain't right. She ain't right because she be doing certain things. My cousin, she was trying to tell me that. She was like, but then she started saying something like, she went to the psych ward, right? And then that's when I was kind of like, you know what? Because I started with her saying that, it started to make me feel more compassion for her because I was like, maybe I'm misunderstanding her. That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe I'm misunderstanding her. Like, y'all think she just crazy because she went to the psych ward. But no, it was other things that they was saying that I was seeing that was making sense. So it made me disconnect from that cousin. But I wasn't going to talk about her. I was just not going to really be dealing with her like that. And I stopped talking to her for probably like a month. And I think that's when she was implemented because then she called me. I had her blocked. So she called me from a different number. And she was like, yeah, I tried to call you from my other number, but it seemed like you got me blocked. And I was like, yeah, I do got you blocked. But I was going to explain to her why and stuff. But then she started being talking to me different. Like, this is when she was recording me. She was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't really know why you're mad at me and stuff. Like, and then she started asking me certain questions that we already had a conversation about. So I'm kind of talking like, yeah, like I talked to you about this. Like, why you asking me and stuff like that. But then stuff that she used to tell me that she was understanding of, now she's seeming like she confused. But this whole time she was trying to trigger me and record me and yada yada yada. So that's what she did. And child, I'm letting that shit go. Like, I'm tired of it. That's what I've been trying. That's like the point of me talking because I've been like really letting shit go. I feel like something is being reversed energetically. Like I feel like um people was trying to oppress me in ways, spell work, spreading rumors, being shady towards me and all type of shit. But I ain't even phased. I ain't even phased by it. And I think me not being phased by it is what protected me and helping me go to a broader perspective because I'm reaching spaces that I haven't reached before. And I'm getting past that part where um sometimes I feel a sense of guilt for not always being like this. And I kind of felt like maybe that's why other people, but in a way, I was always like this. I just couldn't always express it. I just didn't have a full understanding of it. But if you look deeper behind my reasonings and my intentions, it was there. It was there. But I felt like a part of me was felt like I had something to prove and I'm letting that go. So with letting that go, um, I feel like it's blocking the people out of my reality that carry that energy. Like it's helping me to disconnect from those people. All right, I'm tired of talking. Stay blessed, y'all.